8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Niranjan Abesundara. Sri Lanka's biggest water supply scheme, Visal Marthale Water Supply Scheme, was vested with the people this afternoon under the patronage of the Prime Minister. A special program will be implemented to identify and promote investment opportunities. 8,000 Sri Lankan workers leaving for foreign employment will be given the Pfizer vaccine. Sri Lanka reports nearly 1,500 new recoveries from COVID-19. AstraZeneca doses arrive in Sri Lanka on Saturday. In world news, COVID update, Sydney extends lockdown and other Australian cities reopen. In sports news, the second T20 match between Sri Lanka and India is being played at the R. Premadasa Cricket Stadium. Sri Lanka's biggest water supply scheme, Visal Marthale Water Supply Scheme, was vested with the people this afternoon under the patronage of the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. 31,000 million rupees has been spent on the scheme, which can provide 90,000 new water connections. 150,000 families will be benefited from the project. People in Marthale, Rattota, Yatavatta, Ukkuwala, Pallipala, Amangagakorale and Naula will get clean drinking water through the scheme. Accordingly, clean drinking water coverage in Marthale will increase from 30 to 90%. Laggala and Wilgama schemes are being constructed under this scheme. An integrated methodology has been prepared to promote investment opportunities which have been noted as national priority sectors. It will create the background to implement projects related to fisheries and medicine fields where there are more investment opportunities and in other fields. A publicity machinery will be prepared to inform local and foreign investors on identified sectors. A special discussion on preparing the process took place today at the Finance Ministry under the patronage of Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa. The Finance Ministry said discussions took place also on preparing an inter-coordinating program among relevant state institutions for investors to get their services efficiently and provide facilities for them. Vaccination workers leaving for foreign employment registered Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau commenced today at the Narahempit Army Hospital. Workers in the Western Province who have been registered at the Bureau with limited documents have been vaccinated. Minister Nimal Siripala Silva said they'll be given Pfizer vaccine since that vaccine is recognized by the countries for which Sri Lankan workers are going for employment. An agreement in this regard has been reached during the discussions recently with Health Minister Pavitra Vaniyarachi. Vaccines can be received by registering at www.slbfe.lk website. Plans have been made to inoculate 8,000 workers. The Minister of Health says 1,380 corona patients were identified today. The ministry also stated that 1,499 patients who had been infected with COVID-19 have been discharged after complete recovery within the past 24 hours. This brings the total number of coronavirus recoveries in the country to 201,855. Sri Lanka has confirmed 299,892 total cases of COVID-19 thus far, while 23,842 infected patients are currently under medical care. Meanwhile, 48 COVID-19-related deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Private Bus Operators Association requests all private bus operators to obtain COVID vaccine before the 15th of August. Those who are not vaccinated will not be allowed to operate on the respective routes. Sports Department says all necessary facilities are provided to the Sri Lankan team participating in the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Director General of the department, Amar Idrisuri, rejected the claim that the team members are not provided with the necessary clothing material. This is wrong information spread by some media elements, he alleged. That ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
A stock of 728,460 doses of the much-awaited AstraZeneca vaccine will arrive in Sri Lanka this Saturday, the 31st, State Minister Channaja Sumana said. He said these vaccines will arrive through the WHO's COVAX facility. Priority will be given to administer the second doses to the 400,000 people who have received AstraZeneca as their first dose, he added. The doses will arrive from Japan through the COVAX facility. This is out of the 1.4 million doses pledged by Japan last month. Remaining doses will arrive in August. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight. Police have provided a telephone number for the general public to report information regarding any activities related to child labour in the Colombo city or suburbs. Police spokesman Senior DA Jadith Rohan has said a special operation was initiated yesterday in the Colombo city and suburbs in the western province to nab offenders. He said, if the public have any information in respect of child labour, they are requested to provide such information to the Colombo Emergency Centre via telephone number 0112 433 333. 0112 433 333. That was Watchlight. On to world news, COVID update. Sydney extends lockdown as other Australian cities reopen. Anger as COVID-ravaged Malaysia lifts pandemic measures. Indians turn to crowdfunding to pay COVID bills. Sydney's lockdown has been extended by another month as COVID cases continue to rise. Australia's largest city has been under stay-at-home orders since late June due to the outbreak of the Delta variant. More than 2,500 people have been infected in Sydney's worst outbreak this year. New South Wales, of which Sydney is the capital, reported 177 new cases today, the most in a day since March 2020. Malaysian government has been asked why it revoked emergency COVID regulations as cases continue to rise. Malaysia has reported more than 1 million cases and 1,000 deaths so far, but experts warn the real numbers are much higher as testing rates are low. Hospitals are crowded and overwhelmed. Recent images showed patients sitting on chairs and sharing oxygen cylinders. The country is also currently under a state of emergency, which will end on the 1st of August and will not be extended. Hospitalizations soared in India during a deadly second COVID wave. Now hobbled by patchy insurance, Indians are turning to crowdfunding to pay the steep medical bills. Subraja Reddy Eruba was unable to breathe properly 4 days after giving birth to her second child in June. The 20-year-old woman began showing COVID-19 symptoms during her pregnancy, shortly after visiting a hospital for a routine checkup. Soon she contracted a severe lung infection and was admitted to the ICU at a private hospital in the southern city of Hyderabad. A month on, she is still there. And back to the headlines of the world news. COVID update, Sydney extends lockdown as other Australian cities reopen. Anger as COVID-ravaged Malaysia lifts pandemic measures. Indians turn to crowdfunding to pay COVID bills. That was world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, #1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
The Khatibed Industry Training Institute will be modernized after 38 years. The main objective is to provide a better training facility to the students. The State Ministry for Skills Development, Vocational Training, Vocational Education, Research and Innovation has funded the project. The number of student enrollment will be increased up to 732 upon completion of the renovation. All courses will be restructured to suit the employment market. Renovation will be completed by November this year. New equipment will also be provided upon completion of the renovation activities. That was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, #1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
On to sports news. The second T20 match between Sri Lanka and India is being played at R. Premadasa Cricket Stadium. The match is being played under lights. The match was postponed for today after India's all-rounder Krunal Pandya tested positive for COVID-19 hours before the toss today. That means the last two T20s will be played back-to-back with matches on Wednesday and Thursday. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Piramal Glass Ceylon PLC reported its results for the quarter ended June 30th. With a turnover of 1,876 million as against 1,130,000 million during the similar period previous year, reflecting a growth of 441%. Domestic sales during the quarter grew by 36% from 937 million to 1,275,000. The financial year started on a positive note with the festive season round the corner. However, due to the third wave of COVID-19, there was travel restrictions and lockdowns to prevent the spread of the virus, leading to low demand in the domestic market. That was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Expression of Interest EOI is called to be a tenant at the SLBC Innovation Park in Sri Lanka, develop and manufacture high-tech biotech products for export and local markets. Sri Lanka Institute of Biotechnology Private Limited was incorporated under the Ministry of Technology and thereby State Ministry of Digital Technology and Development with the prime objective of promoting biotech industry in Sri Lanka and to support the development of biotech industries. SLBC Private Limited facilitates the state-of-the-art research and innovation ecosystem to increase biotech product exports. That was Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Nuwara district. A few showers will occur in the western and northwestern provinces and in the Gaul, Mathura, Kendi and Mathura districts. Short thundershowers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Batakalo districts in the evening or night. Fairly strong winds up to 40-50 km per hour can be expected in the western slopes of the Central Hills, north central and northwestern provinces and in Hambantota district. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. That was the weather report.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Back to the headlines of the news. Sri Lanka's biggest water supply scheme, Visal Mathale Water Supply Scheme, was vested with the people this afternoon under patronage of the Prime Minister. Our special program will be implemented to identify and promote investment opportunities. 8,000 Sri Lankan workers living for foreign employment will be given the Pfizer vaccine. Sri Lanka reports nearly 1,500 new recoveries from COVID-19. AstraZeneca doses to arrive in Sri Lanka on Saturday. In world news, COVID updates, Sydney extends lockdown as other Australian cities reopen. In sports news, the second T20 match between Sri Lanka and Indonesia is being played at R. Premadasa Cricket Stadium. That is the news.